This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 newsroom, presented by Green Lamb Laminates. On this edition, we get you some big breaking news that's coming in. This is to do with bilateral relations between India and China. We're now given to understand that Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is going to be in Beijing on the 26th and 27th of this month, which is over this weekend, for a meeting with the Foreign Secretary and Vice Minister of Mechanism between India and China. This is over resumption of bilateral mechanism that flows from the agreement at the leadership level talks that were held between the two countries. We've had several other talks in the past, but this is the first time after Galwan that we're seeing the Foreign Secretary in Beijing to resume bilateral ties that had taken a dip, that had taken a hit after the deadly Galwan clash that we had seen, where China tried to unilaterally change the status quo at the line of actual control. Disengagement has been done in eastern Ladakh. Military level talks were conducted for several rounds, and that came to fruition when the disengagement was done at the line of actual control. Now bilateral ties would also be resumed, and the first step to that is the Foreign Secretary's visit to Beijing on the 26th and 27th of this month. Siddhant, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details on this. Siddhant, is this the first time that we're seeing the Foreign Secretary visit after the Galwan clash of 2020?
Well, right. So, Poonam, in fact, before this, there used to be a WMCC talks, both in New Delhi and Beijing. So whenever there had been a delegation going to Beijing, it used to be led by a joint secretary rank officer. This is for the first time that a foreign secretary is visiting Beijing after a very, very long time. In fact, Poonam, in December, at a special representative level talk took place in Beijing. If you remember, NSA Dowell went to Beijing to hold talks with the special representative and foreign minister of China, Wang Yi. And perhaps the framework for the resumption of bilateral talks was decided at that point in time. Now, to carry it forward, the foreign secretary is making the 26th and 27th of January. There is a very brief release which has come from Ministry of External Affairs, and release says that this particular visit is in line with the resumption of the bilateral mechanism, which flows from the agreement or at the leadership level to discuss the next steps for India-China relations, including the political, economic and people-to-people domains. So for the first time, Modi and Xi Jinping met in Kazan on the sidelines of the BRICS summit. And perhaps that was after India locked a patrol agreement with China. And both the leaders decided to resume the bilateral talks after locking border deal with China. Now, since the bilateral relationship is resuming, after the leaders meeting, there was a special representative meet in December. Now in January, there's going to be the foreign secretary level talks between the two countries. And perhaps this time around, the other bilateral issues with China will be discussed for the first time after the Galwan clash, which includes political issues, economic issues, and people-to-people issues. Now, there are issues like resumption of flights to China, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, and also, some of the decisions which India took after the Galwan clash. Perhaps we could expect towards China, we could expect relaxation in those areas in days to come.
So some relaxation is expected. The Mansarovar Yatra, that's something that was of key importance. The last time there were talks that were held, NSA Dowell met with Wang Yi not too long ago here as well. This is just, like you said, another step in that same direction. What else could be on agenda? Do we have any details of that apart from the Mansarovar Yatra and the resumption of that?
Well, there are a lot of issues on the agenda. In fact, Chinese have many things on the platter, and they want India to perhaps focus on those things. And they have been pushing for it from a very long time. But India's position has been very clear from day one since the Galwan clash that there cannot be resumption or a discussion on any other bilateral issue unless the border issue is resolved. There were many WMCC format meetings between India and China. There were many core commander level meetings between India and China. And India was adamant that unless the border issues are resolved, there's going to be no discussion on the other bilateral issues. Now, since the border issues have been resolved on Depsang and Demchok areas, both the countries have come to have signed a patrol agreement. There's an arrangement, there's an understanding made between the two sides, after which Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi met in Kazan on the sidelines of the BRICS summit. Both leaders decided that there's going to be a special representative level meeting to decide the framework. That meeting also took place in December when NSA Doval went to China and met his counterpart Wang Yi. Now it's a time for the resumption of bilateral ties. So this now we can say that the bilateral ties are finally going to resume between the two countries. So India will finally discuss with China the other issues other than the border issues that India only used to discuss before. So the other issues like economic issues, political, people-to-people domains. So those things would be discussed when Foreign Secretary will sit with his Chinese counterpart. So this visit is significant, and this visit perhaps could be said that now India-China has resumed bilateral ties. Now this is like a Galwan times, and that is going to be the relationship with China from here onwards.
Provided that China does keep its end of the bargain, because last time around as well, when we saw the Galwan clash, that is China unilaterally trying to change status quo at the line of actual control. But it is the first step in the right direction to repair those strained ties between the two countries. For the moment, Siddhant, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Shifting focus now to Maharashtra, where it's been 7 days since the attack on actor Saif Ali Khan at his residence. Since then, we've had several twists and turns in the investigation, several things that don't add up as well. An accused is in custody. He is going to be produced in court tomorrow, and the cops will have to detail what they've ascertained so far. But there are several within the Maharashtra political corridors that have raised questions over the theories that are coming to the fore, over the version that we've seen both from the police and from the actor. Maharashtra Minister being the latest one, Nitesh Rane, questioning if this was him acting or if there was an actual attack. That comment has echoed within other political parties as well. AIMIM and Shiv Sena too chiming in, raising questions of their own.
बघा त्या बांगलादेश पहिले काय करतात त्या मुंबईमध्ये त्या सैफ अली खानच्या घरात घुसले म्हणजे नालायक बघा किती आहेत पहिलं फक्त नाक्यावर उभं राहायचे आता घरात घुसायला लागलेलं आहे कदाचित त्याला घेऊन जायला आले असतील हे घाट लेकी जाऊ मारत त्याला तो एवढा तो असा बाहेरून चालत होता मलाच संशय राहिला का घरात चाकू मारला की ह्यांनी कुठेतरी असंच ऍक्टिंग करून बाहेर निघाला असं टुन करून असतंय ते पण आजूबाजूला बघा जेव्हा कुठल्या खानवर त्रास होतो कुठल्या शाहरुख खान असेल सैफ अली खान असेल बघा सगळे कसे टिवटिव करायला लागतात पण कुठल्या हिंदू कलाकारावर कुठल्या त्या सुशांत सिंग राजपूतवर काय झालं तो तुझा मुंबराच्या जितो नाही आला बिळाच्या बाहेर ही तुमच्या बारामतीची ताई नाही आली तेव्हा बाहेर तिला बरोबर सैफ अली खानचीच चिंता आहे शाहरुख खानच्या मुलाचीच चिंता आहे नवाब मलिकचीच चिंता आहे कधी कुठल्या हिंदू कलाकारांची चिंता करताना ऐकले या गोष्टीवर तुम्ही लक्ष घाला.
देखिए सैफ अली खान के ऊपर हमला हुआ हम इसकी कंडेम करते हैं. मुंबई जैसे शहर में बांद्रा जैसी जगह के ऊपर कोई इंसान 12 माले चढ़ के जाता है उनके घर में घुसता है छुरी से उनके ऊपर हमला करता है. मगर लोगों के दिमाग में काफी सारी बातें आ रही है ना कि लोग मुझे फोन कर रहे हैं वारिस भाई कुछ तो है राज जिसकी पर्दादारी कर रही है किस तो है राज जिसकी पर्दादारी हो रही है क्यों पुलिस बता नहीं रही कि क्या एक्चुअली क्योंकि इतना अगर गहरा घाव है कमर में एक इंसान चल के आ रहा है फोटोज अलग दिखा रहे हैं पुलिस तो हम तो चाहेंगे कि पुलिस सामने आए और बोले कि क्या हकीकत है क्या हुआ था उस रात को कैसे वो गया था 12 माले पे. तो हम चाहेंगे कि पुलिस प्रशासन सामने आए जनता की पूरी हकीकत बताए क्या हुआ था तो ताकि ये सारे जो शक लोगों के दिलों के अंदर दिमाग के अंदर जाग रहे ये बंद हो जाए.
Mayuresh now joining us, getting us more perspective. Mayuresh, it's one thing for leaders within the opposition to raise questions like Varis Pathan, but the state government is bound to be in a spot with two of its own leaders raising questions. Are they actually questioning the version of whether the attack happened at all on Saif Ali Khan, or are they raising the question on the state police and the conduct of the state police, who's also come out and arrested one person for this attack?
Absolutely, and that is a kind of a confusing statement which basically has come from minister like Nitesh Rane, and whether this statement he has given in his own capacity or whether he has given this statement as a minister, that needs to be seen, because after that particular public speech, Nitesh Rane has not come out to basically clarify or further explain that what exactly he meant to say. But if you carefully listen to his statement, he has not only raised a doubt over Saif Ali Khan's entire attack incident, but he has also given a turn that Saif Ali Khan, being a Muslim actor or being a Muslim, there were a lot of voices in his support which came. But what happened to Sushant Singh? No one had come in support. So he is basically somewhere trying to connect that Hindu-Muslim angle, or Sushant, he is trying to connect that angle with Sushant Singh. So certainly, whether it's an official stand of the state government or not, that needs to be seen, because so far the state government has not come on record. Even Nitesh Rane has not clarified whether it is own stand or it is his government stand.
Right, Mayuresh, do stay on with us. We have some information that's now trickling in as far as the entire case goes. Now, there are several things that don't add up, yes, but these kind of questions that are being asked from within the leaders of the government in the state of Maharashtra, that is something that puts the state government in a spot. So what the police has been claiming so far is that security guards were asleep when the attacker entered the building, that he jumped across from another building. But is there evidence of the attacker actually scaling that compound wall? Is there any CCTV footage? Is there anyone who saw the attacker, or has the attacker himself, who's in custody now, admitted to doing so? The police had claimed that the accused was locked inside the room after there was panic and altercation between Saif Ali Khan and him, and that he left via the same AC duct that he came in through. Now, the man on CCTV that was released, the pictures that were released by the police shortly after the attack, that man shares no similarities with the man who's in custody. Are we talking about the same person here? That's something that the Mumbai police has to come out as well. The accused changed clothes, slept at a bus stop after the attack, is what the police had said. The clothes of the attacker have been recovered, is what we're given to understand. So that's a question that now stands answered. But there are some more gaps that remain as far as the entire situation goes. Remember, the accused was arrested from Thane on the outskirts of Mumbai 3 days after the attack took place. The Mumbai police said that there was a massive manhunt that was launched, that all of his digital footprint was tracked, and eventually he was found in a mangrove in Thane. If that was the case, and if police did their job swiftly and to the best of its efficiency, why was the investigating officer changed mid of investigation? And that's something that's being asked as well. The staff at Saif Ali Khan's residence who were there on the day of the attack, they said that it was Saif Ali Khan's son Ibrahim, who stays 2 floors down, who came up after the altercation, was called after Saif Ali Khan was attacked, and he eventually took him to Lilavati Hospital. But when we had the doctors at the Lilavati Hospital hold a press conference and speak to the media, they said that Saif Ali Khan walked into the hospital with his 8-year-old son, which is Taimur, and not Ibrahim. So there is some sort of discrepancy in that version as well. Is that why we're seeing these kind of questions being raised? Yesterday, we had Sanjay Nirupam of the Shiv Sena also raise similar questions about how the attack actually happened, if there is any truth to the attack actually happening, and how was Saif Ali Khan's recovery so quick? Listen in to what he had to tell us.
संजय जी, कल आपने एक ट्वीट किया, उसमें लिखा कि चाकू लगा, 6 घंटे ऑपरेशन हुए, 2.5 इंच का चाकू का पार्ट अंदर रह गया। सैफ अली खान इतने फिट होके आ रहे, उस पर लेके आप सवाल खड़े कर रहे थे।
ये सारी जानकारी कोई मैंने अपनी तरफ से नहीं दी थी। ये जो डॉक्टरों ने पिछले 4 दिनों में मीडिया में जानकारी दी, उन जानकारियों के आधार पर मैंने कुछ प्रश्न खड़े किए। मैं स्पष्ट कर देना चाहता हूं कि सैफ अली खान के परिवार के प्रति हमारे मन में कोई बुरा भाव नहीं है। हमारे मन में बहुत सिंपैथी है उस परिवार को लेकर। वो परिवार सुरक्षित रहना चाहिए, क्योंकि उस परिवार की जो पृष्ठभूमि है बहुत समृद्ध पृष्ठभूमि है, और भारत के बड़े बड़े लोगों के बड़े बड़े परिवारों से जुड़ा हुआ परिवार है ये। लेकिन जिस तरीके से डॉक्टरों ने बताया था कि जब सैफ अली खान पे हमला हुआ, तब उनके पीठ में 2.5 इंच का चाकू घुसा हुआ था। फिर और ऑटो वाले ने बताया कि वो लहूलुहान अवस्था में हॉस्पिटल पहुंचे थे, और उसका डॉक्टर ने बताया कि 6 घंटे तक उनका ऑपरेशन चला था। उसके बाद 4 दिन के अंदर एक व्यक्ति इतना फिट होकर के हॉस्पिटल से डिस्चार्ज होकर आ सकता है क्या? ये एक निर्दोष प्रश्न है। और ये प्रश्न सिर्फ मेरे मन में नहीं है, उस वीडियो को देखने वाले बहुत सारे लोगों के मन में। और इसी प्रश्न से जुड़े हुए जो प्रश्न है कि सचमुच 16 जनवरी की रात हुआ क्या, ये जानने का अधिकार मुंबई के लोगों को है, क्योंकि इस घटना के बाद विपक्ष के लोगों ने जिस तरीके से पूरे मुंबई में कानून और व्यवस्था नष्ट हो गई है और पूरे मुंबई में महाराष्ट्र सरकार फेल हो गई है, और जिस तरीके से इस घटना को सलमान खान को जो मिल रही धमकियां हैं उन धमकियों की घटना से जोड़ रहे थे, ऐसे में सचमुच क्या हुआ यह जानने का अधिकार सबको है, पूरे मुंबई को है, पूरे मुंबई के नागरिकों को है। और इस बारे में निश्चित तौर पर पुलिस अपने छानबीन के आधार पर अपना बयान जारी कर सकती है और करना चाहिए, लेकिन साथ साथ इस परिवार को भी सामने आना पड़ेगा।
Mahresh continues to be with us now. Mahresh, as far as the investigation goes, the Mumbai police had got the attacker's custody for until tomorrow. Tomorrow is when he is going to be produced in court. What in terms of evidence are they going to be presenting in court? Do we have any details of what the police's strategy is? Do they want any more custody for custodial interrogation, or are they okay with judicial custody?
No, certainly they will ask for more custody, or they will ask for the remand of this particular accused. If you remember, Poonam, it is only once the Mumbai police have done official press conference when they had arrested this person, and also in that press conference they didn't reveal much or they didn't share any much information. It is just only they announced it that we have arrested him from the Thane area, and they didn't even take any questions. So tomorrow, when they will produce him in front of magistrate to ask for his remand again for a few days, that time it would be interesting to see on what grounds they will be asking and what evidences or proof they will produce, because magistrate will be definitely asking them that in last so many days what you have found in your investigation or the interrogation which you did, what exactly you have found. So certainly it would be interesting to see tomorrow that what Mumbai police basically puts ground for his remand.
Right, so strategy of the Mumbai police is going to be extremely crucial as far as the court proceedings go tomorrow. For the moment though, Mayuresh, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. The political fight meanwhile continues on the sidelines even as that investigation intensifies. Let's listen in to some more reactions.
त्यांनी जर काही त्यांच्या मनात असेल तर डिपार्टमेंटला सांगावं. मी पण डिपार्टमेंटला फार तर सांगेन की असं कोणाच्या मनामध्ये शंका कुशंका असेल, वास्तविक ती व्यक्ती सापडलेली आहे, ती व्यक्ती बांगलादेशमधून आलेली होती आणि जे काही आत्तापर्यंतची माहिती आहे त्यामध्ये अजून तरी तसा क्लू मिळालेला नाहीये. कदाचित काल सैफ त्यांच्या घरी स्वतःच्या जात असताना त्यांची तब्येत किंवा त्यांचं एकंदरीत जे काही कपडे वगैरे होते ते बघितल्यानंतर बाबा यांच्यावर काही दिवसापूर्वी असा हल्ला झाला, त्यांची मुळातच तब्येत पण चांगली आहे आणि जे घडलंय ते घडलंयच ना.
ऐसे स्टेटमेंट करना किसी के सेहत को लेकर यह गलत है, चाहे वो निरुपम कहे या नीतीश राणे कहे. ऐसी भाषा उनको शोभा नहीं देती और उसको अलग रंग देने की जरूरत नहीं है. आज उनके ऊपर हुआ है, कल और किसी के ऊपर भी हो सकता है, पर इस तरह बेतुकी बातें मत करो, थोड़ा इंसानियत रख के बात करो. सैफ अली खान हिंदुस्तान के मशहूर एक्टर थे.
What made you say that is it a stage or an acting that happened when the entire incident regarding Saif Ali Khan? What really made you say that?
It is just not me questioning the entire episode. It's lakhs of Mumbaikars also speaking, want to know the truth. The way he walked out after he got discharged from the hospital. Obviously, we all want him to be fine. But the fact is, the way the theories have been coming out, after so many days, no one knows the fact because different theories are coming out. So it just needs to be clear. The air needs to be cleared. We need to know the fact because maybe the Leelavati medical fraternity is really that good that he could walk out after being stabbed so deep in his spine. So it is a general suspicion that everyone has in their mind, and that is what I just raised it.
But Mr. Rane, do you think that even the Leelavati hospital doctors are also part of this conspiracy? Is that what you're implying here?
See, everyone needs answers, right? We are just trying to ask answers. What exactly happened? Everyone is shocked. Everyone wants to know the truth. Everyone was worried when he got attacked. Opposition was questioning the law and order of the city. We as government are very clear that there is absolutely no problem of law and order in this city. Unnecessarily we've been criticized, and now after so many days, Things have to be clear. That's all I mentioned.
But you are in government, so you must have spoken to the Mumbai police. Have they, conveyed to you?
They are investigating. They are investigating the case. We are going deep in the matter because see, it's the matter of the image of the government also now. Okay, because obviously it was a big national and an international story, and everyone started questioning, is our Bollywood stars really safe in the city? But we are saying it's absolutely safe to be in the city. And now when the image of the government was questioned, we have all the rights to know the truth.
The truth needs to tumble out. When that happens, we'll keep a track here on CNN News 18. But for now, it's time for a quick break on this edition of Nation at 5.
States he has now weighed in on the ongoing debate over the H-1B foreign guest workers visa, saying that he preferred both sides of the argument, while also noting that he liked very competent people coming to our country, is what he said. He signed an executive order that targets multiple immigration laws, including the long-standing principle of birthright citizenship. Now, this move has sparked intense debate and is expected to face legal challenges. At the heart of the controversy is the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which grants citizenship to all individuals born in the United States. However, Trump's executive order seeks to reinterpret this amendment. It asserts that children born to undocumented parents are not entitled to automatic citizenship. Meanwhile, 22 Democratic-ruled states on Tuesday have taken legal action against the executive order aimed to end a century-old immigration practice. Listen in to what the U.S. president has to say.
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people coming into our country, even if that involves them training and helping other people that may not have the qualifications they do. But I don't want to stop. And I'm not just talking about engineers. I'm talking about people at all levels. We want competent people coming into our country. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high quality waiters.
That it's another important question where it's hard to give you an answer because of the uncertainty of what Trump is going to do on any given point. There's no doubt when we consider the problem of illegal immigration that the problem is severe and needs to be fixed. And Trump's position on that is very popular. What people don't talk about enough is the legal immigration system, which is hopelessly gridlocked. It's very politically difficult to change. My own view is that we should welcome additional immigrants. It's a source of strength for the United States. The visa program is a way to bring people in. They may decide to return to their home country. They may decide to apply for citizenship in the United States. But I think it's a very positive program for the United States. And at some point, we need to find the political will to allow more legal immigration. It's a question of, I think, the long-range future for the country. It's just important for any sovereign state to say we're going to do it in an orderly fashion, and we're certainly not doing that now.
All right, Siddharth Mishra joins me live on the broadcast. Siddharth, I think at the heart of this entire move is also one moot question. Is Donald Trump now equating illegal immigrants in the United States with the legal ones? And what is this going to mean for H-1B visa holders, especially the ones from India?
Well, that's absolutely right, Akanksha. In fact, there are many aspects to this entire immigration, U.S. immigration policy. In fact, in the run-up to the polls, Akanksha, if you remember, Trump has always spoken about the illegal immigration to U.S. In fact, he has also been against his supporters largely. His voter base is perhaps their demand has always been that there should be a strict policy should be put in place so that the outsiders should not take away the jobs here in United States. So that's what his supporters, his traditional supporters, those who
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सभी मंडल अध्यक्षगण, भारी संख्या में करोलबाग विधानसभा क्षेत्र से अपना आशीर्वाद प्रदान करने के लिए उपस्थित मेरे सभी बहनों और भाइयों, मैं कल सायकाल ही प्रयागराज की धरती से लखनऊ पहुंचा हूं। इस सदी का महाकुंभ इस समय प्रयागराज में चल रहा है। मां गंगा, यमुना और मां सरस्वती के पावन त्रिवेणी के संगम पर पिछले 10 दिनों के अंदर लगभग 10 करोड़ श्रद्धालुओं ने संगम में डुबकी लगा करके वहां पर पुण्य के भागीदार बने हैं। बहनों और भाइयों, अगले 35 दिनों तक ये सिलसिला चलेगा और इन 35 दिनों, कुल 45 दिनों में प्रयागराज की धरती पर 45 करोड़ श्रद्धालु आकर के पुण्य का भागीदार बनेगा। ये डबल इंजन सरकार, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की डबल इंजन सरकार आस्था को सम्मान देकर के अर्थव्यवस्था का उन्नयन करने का कार्य कर रही है। ये केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर सकती है। आस्था का भी सम्मान है और अर्थव्यवस्था को उसके माध्यम से एक नई गति देने का भी वहां माध्यम बना हुआ है। उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार और केंद्र सरकार ने मिलकर के महाकुंभ के महाआयोजन में 7,500 करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए, लेकिन इससे उत्तर प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था में 2 लाख करोड़ रुपए से अधिक की वृद्धि होने वाली है। लाखों नौजवानों के लिए नए रोजगार का सृजन होने वाला है। उत्तर प्रदेश के बारे में जनता की धारणा को बदलने वाला है और उत्तर प्रदेश में पर्यटन के एक नए सर्किट के रूप में प्रयागराज, अयोध्या और काशी का दर्शन देश और दुनिया को करने का अवसर प्राप्त हो रहा है। बहनों और भाइयों, अनुमान करिए आज से 10 वर्ष पहले उत्तर प्रदेश के बारे में लोगों की क्या धारणा बन चुकी थी। आज से 7-8 वर्ष पहले उत्तर प्रदेश के बारे में लोग क्या सोचते थे। लेकिन डबल इंजन की सरकार आई और उस सरकार ने वहां पर उत्तर प्रदेश को उसकी पुरातन पहचान दिलाने का कार्य कराया। आज उत्तर प्रदेश में क्या नहीं है, आज वहां पर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बड़े बड़े कार्य हैं। देश के सबसे ज्यादा एक्सप्रेसवे है, हाईवे है, रेलवे का सबसे बड़ा नेटवर्क है, सबसे ज्यादा सिटी में मेट्रो का संचालन हो रहा है और वहां के स्वच्छता को अगर आप तुलना करेंगे तो आपको आज नजर आएगा। ज्यादा दूर मत जाइए, दिल्ली से लगे हुए उत्तर प्रदेश के महानगरों को देख लीजिए और दिल्ली के अंदर आम आदमी के कारनामों को आप तुलना कर लीजिए तो आपको अंतर स्पष्ट नजर आ जाएगा। और मैं इसीलिए आपसे कहने के लिए आया हूं, दिल्ली की यात्रा आज से प्रारंभ नहीं होती। 5,000 वर्षों का इतिहास है दिल्ली का। दिल्ली की 5,000 वर्षों के इस इतिहास में कभी ये दिल्ली इंद्रप्रस्थ के रूप में जानी जाती थी। ये दिल्ली अपने वैभव के लिए जानी जाती थी। दिल्ली के कार्य आज से 10 वर्ष पहले तक मॉडल के रूप में देखे जाते थे। लेकिन बहनों और भाइयों, आज मुझे जब दिल्ली चुनाव प्रचार की दृष्टि से तमाम मार्गों को जाना पड़ा तो यहां पता ही नहीं लग रहा था कि सड़क है या गड्ढा है, गड्ढे में सड़क है या सड़क में गड्ढा है। और इसीलिए मुझे 1 घंटा लेट हुआ आज के कार्यक्रम में आने में। मैं भौचक था यहां पे देख करके कि राष्ट्रीय राजधानी दिल्ली की सड़कों की ये दुर्गति। और बहनों और भाइयों, यही नहीं, जब मैंने सड़कों पर गंदगी का ढेर देखा, कूड़ा पड़ा हुआ है, प्लास्टिक से सड़कें पटी हुई है, गंदगी का ढेर जगह जगह लगा हुआ है।
States, he has now weighed in on the ongoing debate over the H-1B foreign guest workers visa, saying that he preferred both sides of the argument, while also noting that he liked very competent people coming to our country, is what he said. He signed an executive order that targets multiple immigration laws, including the long-standing principle of birthright citizenship. Now, this move has sparked intense debate and is expected to face legal challenges. At the heart of the controversy is the 14th Amendment of the US Constitution, which grants citizenship to all individuals born in the United States. However, Trump's executive order seeks to reinterpret this amendment. It asserts that children born to undocumented parents are not entitled to automatic citizenship. Meanwhile, 22 Democratic-ruled states on Tuesday have taken legal action against the executive order aimed to end a century-old immigration practice. Listen in to what the US president has to say.
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people coming into our country, even if that involves them training and helping other people that may not have the qualifications they do. But I don't want to stop. And I'm not just talking about engineers. I'm talking about people at all levels. We want competent people coming into our country. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high-quality waiters.
It's another important question where it's hard to give you an answer because of the uncertainty of what Trump is going to do on any given point. There's no doubt when we consider the problem of illegal immigration that the problem is severe and needs to be fixed, and Trump's position on that is very popular. What people don't talk about enough is the legal immigration system, which is hopelessly gridlocked. It's very politically difficult to change. My own view is that we should welcome additional immigrants. It's a source of strength for the United States. The visa program is a way to bring people in. They may decide to return to their home country. They may decide to apply for citizenship in the United States. But I think it's a very positive program for the United States. And at some point, we need to find the political will to allow more legal immigration. It's a question of, I think, the long-range future for the country. It's just important for any sovereign state to say we're going to do it in an orderly fashion, and we're certainly not doing that now.
All right, Siddharth Mishra joins me live on the broadcast. Siddharth, I think at the heart of this entire move is also one moot question. Is Donald Trump now equating illegal immigrants in the United States with the legal ones? And what is this going to mean for H-1B visa holders, especially the ones from India?
Well, that's absolutely right, Akanksha. In fact, there are many aspects to this entire immigration, U.S. immigration policy. In fact, in the run-up to the polls, Akanksha, if you remember, Trump has always spoken about the illegal immigration to U.S. In fact, he has also been against his supporters largely. His voter base is perhaps their demand has always been that there should be a strict policy should be put in place so that the outsiders should not take away the jobs here in United States. So that's what his supporters, his traditional supporters, those who have been voting for him since 2017, then in 2020. But it's a very tight situation for Trump, Akanksha, because it's not like signing an executive order or maybe making
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. There's some breaking news that's now coming in. Gloves are completely off as far as the fight for the national capital goes. Delhi votes on the 5th of February and the verdict is out on the 8th. And Rahul Gandhi now launching an unfazed attack against the Aam Aadmi Party. Once an ally during the national elections, now a foe. Rahul Gandhi sharing a video on social media saying Delhi does not need the BJP or the Aam Aadmi Party's fake PR. Also highlighting development in the national capital in Delhi during Sheila Dikshit's term as the Chief Minister. Pallavi, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Pallavi, Rahul Gandhi has not been on active campaign trail owing to ill health, but he's ensuring that the Congress's agenda for this election is out there with this particular post.
Yes, absolutely. So there are 2 points which Rahul Gandhi is picking up on, which I think is going to be the crux of the Congress's campaign, which we are told is going to pick up by the end of the week. One, of course, is the legacy of Sheila Dikshit, those 15 years, and making the point that Delhi was at its best when the Congress was in power in the national capital. That's one point. And second, of course, is that how there has been a complete collapse of infrastructure, local issues being picked up by Rahul Gandhi, whether it's pollution, whether it is the poor sanitation facilities. He went to Rithala. He talked about how the water was very bad. It was inhuman for consumption. So in his Facebook and Instagram post, he's actually coming out with evidence and pictures, making a very strong attack on Arvind Kejriwal. And I would also say for the first time ever, actually now talking openly about the corruption within the Aam Aadmi Party as well.
And corruption seems to have been the Congress's plank as far as this election campaign goes, isn't it? We've had one Congress leader after another every single day trying to expose what they claim are sins of the Aam Aadmi Party. They've been talking about the CAG reports that have been hidden. They've been talking about the Liquorgate expose that they claim they have been at the forefront of exposing.
Yes, absolutely. And, they came belatedly into the game. But Ajay Bakar's first press conference on the poor health facilities and the health scam. Then you have a Pawan Khera. So every day they plan to do one press conference to bring out the flaws within the running of the Delhi government. They've walked into this entire narrative a little bit too late because this is what the BJP has been talking about. But now for the Congress party, it is very important for a battle of perception to show that they do matter as far as the Delhi politics goes to them because, they don't have any MLAs. They don't even have any members of parliament. And for a party which was in power for good 15 years, also which at one point of time 7 MPs, it's a question of their survival and also appeasing the cadre.
Right, so the gloves are completely off between Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. So once allies, now clearly foes, at least as far as Delhi is concerned. For the moment, Pallavi, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Shifting focus now to the United States. Ever since the return of President Donald Trump, we've seen several issues that have taken the forefront. Immigration, of course, being the highlight of Donald Trump's one of the first executive orders that he signed. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister of India, was there at the inauguration of President Donald Trump. On the sidelines, there was a Quad meeting of the foreign ministers of the Quad countries that was held as well. Immigration was something that was discussed on that platform too. External Affairs Minister of India confirming India's stance that we are open to the legitimate return of undocumented Indians to the country, but their nationality needs to be verified and we will accept those only after verification. Remember, there were reports that were earlier suggesting that there were 18,000 Indians in the United States who are either undocumented or have overstayed their visas.
We had a discussion on a range of issues, and one of the issues which came up was actually mobility of people. Now, we have a position on mobility which is a principal position, applies to all countries. As a government, we obviously are very much supportive of legal mobility because we do believe in a global workplace. We want Indian talent and Indian skills to have the maximum opportunity at a global level with every country, and the US is no exception. We have always taken the view that if there are any of our citizens who are not here legally, if we are sure that they are our citizens, we have always been open to their legitimate return to India. I've seen some numbers. I caution you about them because for us a number is operative when we can actually validate the fact that the individual concerned is of Indian origin. And the fact that at our end we have to verify that they are indeed Indians because naturally there are sensitivities involved there as well.
Siddhant, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more perspective on this. Siddhant, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar making India's stance very clear that yes, we are open to the legitimate return of Indians who perhaps have overstayed their visas or are undocumented. But this number that the US government seems to be quoting, 18,000, that may not necessarily be true.
Well, that's right. Minister Jaishankar was asked about all the controversy around H-1Bs, then the illegal immigrants living in US, and then also about what do he has to say on the numbers that are being floated in media, the 18,000, the one you mentioned. To which Minister Jaishankar has to say that Indian government has always been in favor of providing more opportunities for Indian talent and skill at a global stage. That was his response to the H-1B visa controversy. Going forward, he said that, as far as illegal immigrants are concerned, then it has been India's principal position that if an Indian citizen is living illegally without documents in any other country across the world, then India has no issues in taking him or her back. And the third point he made is regarding the delays in visa by US. And that's a very strong remark that came from Minister Jaishankar, where he said that relationship is not fully served when a visa is given in 400 days. Perhaps, when it comes to illegal immigration, India's policy is very clear. When it comes to H-1Bs, India perhaps look for more H-1Bs. For the Indians, so that they can contribute to at the global stage. At the same time, the numbers that are being floated, that illegal immigrants, so and so number illegal immigrants are in US. So India has to say that they are yet to verify whether they are from India or not.
Right, now this, Siddhant, for the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest, but this also comes on the sidelines of one of the first things that Donald Trump did on his return to the White House, signed the executive order that ended birthright citizenship in America. What are the implications of that? That's something that my colleague Sanjay Suri has been decoding from on ground. Remember, there's also a legal hurdle for Donald Trump's this particular order. At least 22 Democratic-leaning states and other advocacy groups have sued Trump for his bid to end birthright citizenship and try and change the immigration landscape in America. Take a look at the special report.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Donald Trump said immediately on assuming presidency that he believes in legal migration, believes that it helps build America, keep it at the cutting edge, and then he undercut that on day one itself with an order ending birthright citizenship. That means that anyone born in the US after February the 19th of this year will not be a US citizen unless either of the parents is either a US citizen or a green card holder. Thousands and thousands of H-1B visa holders will be affected, the majority of them Indians. About 3 in 4 H-1B visa holders are Indian. That order came on day one, and by day two, at least 2 major lawsuits had been filed against that order. One in Massachusetts by a group of 18 Democrat-led states, together with Washington, D.C. and San Francisco. The other in New Hampshire by a number of civil liberties groups. If that order were to prevail, it would be something like going to work in the Gulf, stay as long as you're allowed to, earn what you can, and then return. Never dream of settling, so that you could dip into the American dream, but never become a part of it.
The birthright citizenship executive order would mean, if it went into effect, that if both parents are H-1Bs and their child is born after February 19th, that child would not be an American citizen. The initial visa period is 3 years, and then you can get a renewal for another 3 years. And my understanding was that there was a law that allowed for even further extensions, perhaps a year or another 3 years on top of that. We have many people who are H-1Bs who are waiting in line for green cards. And if your H-1B expires and you don't have a green card, my understanding is that you do have to return.
Would the children continue to have rights to medical care and other social rights?
It would depend on the state that they're living in, but in many states, no, they would not be eligible for federal public benefits.
You know, we had an announcement from Trump yesterday that he would like to encourage legal migration because that brings in expertise that helps build the U.S. economy.
States, he has now weighed in on the ongoing debate over the H-1B foreign guest workers visa, saying that he preferred both sides of the argument, while also noting that he liked very competent people coming to our country, is what he said. He signed an executive order that targets multiple immigration laws, including the long-standing principle of birthright citizenship. Now, this move has sparked intense debate and is expected to face legal challenges. At the heart of the controversy is the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which grants citizenship to all individuals born in the United States. However, Trump's executive order seeks to reinterpret this amendment. It asserts that children born to undocumented parents are not entitled to automatic citizenship. Meanwhile, 22 Democratic rule states on Tuesday have taken legal action against the executive order aimed to end a century-old immigration practice. Listen in to what the U.S. president has to say.
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people coming into our country, even if that involves them training and helping other people that may not have the qualifications they do. But I don't want to stop. And I'm not just talking about engineers. I'm talking about people at all levels. We want competent people coming into our country. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high quality waiters.
You know, that it's another important question where it's hard to give you an answer because of the uncertainty of what Trump is going to do on any given point. There's no doubt when we consider the problem of illegal immigration that the problem is severe and needs to be fixed. And Trump's position on that is very popular. What people don't talk about enough is the legal immigration system, which is hopelessly gridlocked. It's very politically difficult to change. My own view is that we should welcome additional immigrants. It's a source of strength for the United States. The visa program is a way to bring people in. They may decide to return to their home country. They may decide to apply for citizenship in the United States. But I think it's a very positive program for the United States. And at some point, we need to find the political will to allow more legal immigration. It's a question of, I think, the long-range future for the country. It's just important for any sovereign state to say we're going to do it in an orderly fashion, and we're certainly not doing that now.
All right, Siddharth Mishra joins me live on the broadcast. Siddharth, I think at the heart of this entire move is also one moot question. Is Donald Trump now equating illegal immigrants in the United States with the legal ones? And what is this going to mean for H-1B visa holders, especially the ones from India?
Well, that's absolutely right, Akanksha. In fact, there are many aspects to this entire immigration, U.S. immigration policy. In fact, in the run-up to the polls, Akanksha, if you remember, Trump has always spoken about the illegal immigration to U.S. In fact, he has also been against his supporters largely. His voter base is perhaps their demand has always been that there should be a strict policy should be put in place.
Thank you for staying with us here on Nation at 5. The World Economic Forum is currently meeting. It's underway in Davos. Corporate honchos, politicians from around the world, heads of state from around the world have all congregated in Davos ahead of that particular event. It is something that India is looking forward to, because especially state governments that are looking forward to, because there's a lot that can come through. There's a lot that India can pitch for. There's a lot of investments that India is vying for. Our colleagues have been there on ground in Davos. They spoke to Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and Chief Minister of Telangana, Revanth Reddy. Listen in to these exclusive conversations.
This is a first that India is doing, and this is what's different this time around. Take me through what was the thought process here.
Well, the thought process was that India Pavilion should be unified pavilion. It should be integrated. And our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, got this feedback last year after last Davos. And he insisted and he gave us a very clear thought process that we should have all the state pavilions integrated within the India Pavilion. Then we spoke to the Chief Ministers and all of them were very happy to actually be a part of this thought process. And that's why we have this entire India Pavilion.
Yes.
As one unified, one integrated pavilion.
Absolutely. As I said, technically under two roofs, because you have Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and the third one over here was...
so logically it is one.
Yes, that's
it's basically
right.
the same
That's
building,
right.
yeah.
And then of course you have on the other side you have Telangana, UP and Kerala. But Mr. Vaishnav, let's start by talking about the pitch here that you continue to make to investors in an AI-driven world, in an AI-led world. You've just finished a roundtable with people in the semiconductor space.
Yeah.
What's the feedback that you're getting? What's the status update on Semicon?
So the confidence that people have on our government, on our policies, on our leadership is huge. What we can see very clearly is people had a lot of skepticism a few years ago, but now they are very clear that India is having a consistent growth. India's policies are very clear. Prime Minister Modi ji's entire thrust on having a very strong technological base in our country is very real. So people today in the morning, they were saying, just 3 years back, we heard that there is a semicon program starting in India. And today you have 5 units where the construction is in very advanced stage. And the first chip will roll out in this year itself. So that gives a lot of tremendous confidence to the people. So we just had a small kind of announcement that Inox will be the materials partner for Micron as well as Tata's. And that's a very big thing because we were used to manufacturing in parts per million. Now we have to manufacture chemicals, gases in parts per billion purity, right?
Yes.
So that requires tremendous investment in R&D, in your manufacturing capabilities, in the process purity. So all that thing is happening now. So that gives a lot of confidence. The second thing is people know that we have a huge AI talent pool in the country. And people have taken very strong note of the approach that we have taken. We have taken this approach of having public investment to create a AI 10,000 GPU compute facility, which will be available to everybody. So I heard in the morning session as well as yesterday and in this session also, people really like this facility because the startups don't get the opportunity to have that compute facility. And in our case, because our Prime Minister always says that we must democratize technology. So democratized technology means it should be accessible to all. And this is one construct that we have been able to very successfully create. So this was also highly appreciated.
All the pavilions are together, 6 states and 2 pavilions. How has the competition been with all your neighboring states, states in the north and the west?
So I don't have much competition with my neighboring states. Why? Because I don't want to compete with my neighboring states. I want to compete with New York or Tokyo or Singapore. So I'm trying to get traction with the MNCs. So I'm trying to attract investment from multinational companies where I have strength in green energy, artificial intelligence and defense investments.
And, what is Telangana's pitch this time? Andhra Pradesh is putting up a very strong front. Maharashtra is putting up a very strong front. What are you telling investors?
So actually Hyderabad is the safest place for investments. So Telangana means business. So if anyone wants to invest something in India, that is Telangana, Hyderabad. Why? Because I have skilled people are there. Educational system is there. And moreover, Hyderabad is the centrally located for India. As well, we have international connectivity. So my strongest point is that defense and green energy, semiconductor. So we are focusing on these investments. So anyway, you know, IT and pharma is we are legends in India. So ये सब सारे ecosystem it is going to support a lot to attract investments.
Right. How are you going to make the state fiscally strong, sir? With various freebies, welfare measures. This is something that a lot of states are grappling with. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the problem is there, but I have to work hard to restructure my debts. So I'm trying to restructure my debts. And moreover, that is why I wanted to get investments to improve our economy. So yes, we have to face all these music.
Right. When Chandrababu Naidu was the Chief Minister of the United Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad sort of became Cyberabad, high-tech city, came up in Madhapur. Are you worried that, now that might happen in Amravati, Hyderabad might lose some of its sheen?
No. Andhra Pradesh doesn't have Hyderabad. I have Hyderabad. So my strength is Hyderabad. My strength is educational institutions like ISB and other things. So India, any city, any metropolitan city, not only Amravati or Andhra Pradesh, Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai or Calcutta, any metropolitan city is not going to compete with Hyderabad. Hyderabad is Hyderabad.
States, he has now weighed in on the ongoing debate over the H-1B foreign guest workers visa, saying that he preferred both sides of the argument, while also noting that he liked very competent people coming to our country, is what he said. He signed an executive order that targets multiple immigration laws, including the long-standing principle of birthright citizenship. Now, this move has sparked intense debate and is expected to face legal challenges. At the heart of the controversy is the 14th Amendment of the US Constitution, which grants citizenship to all individuals born in the United States. However, Trump's executive order seeks to reinterpret this amendment. It asserts that children born to undocumented parents are not entitled to automatic citizenship. Meanwhile, 22 Democratic-ruled states on Tuesday have taken legal action against the executive order aimed to end a century-old immigration practice. Listen in to what the US president has to say.
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people coming into our country, even if that involves them training and helping other people that may not have the qualifications they do. But I don't want to stop. And I'm not just talking about engineers. I'm talking about people at all levels. We want competent people coming into our country. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high-quality waiters.
That it's another important question where it's hard to give you an answer because of the uncertainty of what Trump is going to do on any given point. There's no doubt when we consider the problem of illegal immigration that the problem is severe and needs to be fixed, and Trump's position on that is very popular. What people don't talk about enough is the legal immigration system, which is hopelessly gridlocked. It's very politically difficult to change. My own view is that we should welcome additional immigrants. It's a source of strength for the United States. The visa program is a way to bring people in. They may decide to return to their home country. They may decide to apply for citizenship in the United States. But I think it's a very positive program for the United States. And at some point, we need to find the political will to allow more legal immigration. It's a question of, I think, the long-range future for the country. It's just important for any sovereign state to say we're going to do it in an orderly fashion, and we're certainly not doing that now.
All right, Siddharth Mishra joins me live on the broadcast. Siddharth, I think at the heart of this entire move is also one moot question. Is Donald Trump now equating illegal immigrants in the United States with the legal ones? And what is this going to mean for H-1B visa holders, especially the ones from India?
Well, that's absolutely right, Akanksha. In fact, there are many aspects to this entire immigration, U.S. immigration policy. In fact, in the run-up to the polls, Akanksha, if you remember, Trump has always spoken about the illegal immigration to U.S. In fact, he has also been against.
Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
Good evening and a very warm welcome. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Kritsween Valia. We're coming to you live from CNN News 18 Primetime Studio, presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Viewers, for the last 7 days, the attack on Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan has been the talk of the nation. What started with a burglary attempt gone wrong is now snowballed into a massive controversy, and for reasons more than one. First, it was an intense 3-day manhunt to nab the man who entered Saif Ali Khan's residence with a motive to steal, but ended up stabbing the actor 6 times in his back and the neck as well. Then the attacker was nabbed and the focus turned completely to illegals, with the Bangladesh link coming to the fore. And now it is